Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to another update video. So, you guys probably see that I put in some of those foam panel things that I said I was gonna do about maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I think. So, I guess you guys on YouTube probably wouldn't hear about that because the first time I noticed about that was when I was recording the last update video. So, I got rid of a lot of like stuff in this room, so it was way too echoey. And when I heard the video again after I finished recording, it was kind of awkward sounding. So hopefully this fixes a lot of the issues with the echo. It's only like, not a lot of space that's being occupied with those things. Preferably you kind of want to have those things like in a lot more spaces. I only actually got like three at the back and then three at the front so that it doesn't bounce all over the place. But yeah, from my ears, it's actually making a lot of difference. So hopefully for you guys' ears, it's also making a lot of difference. Mostly for people that uses headphones though, or maybe like earbuds. For people that are using speakers, you guys are probably not going to hear too much of a difference. But yeah, the reason why I'm making this update video is because I am done with the what's the name again? Fairy Tale of Holy Knight Ricca. So I gotta say, guys, for our very first Patreon slash member, no, that's Patreon only. You guys, even on YouTube, if you guys join as a member, you guys are not seeing that because it's fully like there's way too much H scenes in that one, guys. So for our first like Patreon exclusive playthrough, I feel like that game was kind of underwhelming. So I gotta explain. Like the very first video or the very first episode that I recorded of it was it kind of exceeded my expectations. It had really nice gameplay. It had really decent H scenes. But as I go through it more and more, so this is from the perspective of a let's player, right? When I see that you gotta get defeated by X enemies to get an H scene, as a let's player, I kind of feel like I want to get that just for completion's sake. But if I were to play this game by myself without, thinking about making this into a let's play, I probably would have just tried to not get that H scene. So the reason why I got those H scenes and the reason why I'm saying that this game is kind of underwhelming is because the more I got those H scenes again and again and again and again, those H scenes go on for a long time, guys. And they really drew out like the darkness inside of me every time I see those H scenes. I'm like, wow, this girl is stupid. Wow. You're only going that far. I'm like like the amount of stuff that I say in Ricca's H scenes is actually ridiculous. It feels like I became like a super villain. They just wants to see her get even tortured even more than what's being shown on the screen. That's how I felt when I saw the H scenes because they just go on and on and on and on and on and on. It's like some of those H scenes go on for an hour and sometimes an hour and 10 minutes, guys. It's insane just how long they get. But the problem is that because I saw those H scenes, because I saw those H scenes that you get if you lose. Some of those H scenes are actually worse than just the canon H scenes that you get from just going through the story without dying. So when I was already seeing the H scenes that was in the story, I'm so desensitized with how worse she got during the other H scene. I'm like, that's it? Really? You could have done worse than that. I'm like always trying to up the ante. Like it's pretty insane how crazy my mind got when I get to the H scenes. At some point, I just stop paying attention to the H scenes. I click auto. I whip out my phone. I just watch a video while I see the H scene, on my peripheral vision. I'm like, wow, these H scenes are so bad. But yeah, that's that's probably one of the reasons why I think I grade this game a lot worse than it needs to be. I'm very harsh at this game, guys. When I made this playthrough, I was very harsh about it. The gameplay gets ridiculously hard, and I did not expect that. And while I kinda said that the gameplay was trash in some parts of the video, I do think that the gameplay is actually pretty fun if you don't look at it from the perspective of a let's player like me. I'm one of those people that if I don't make progress in an episode that I'm trying to record, I feel I feel like I'm not progressing. I feel like I'm not making any sort of progression. I'm not doing anything. Even though yes, if you learn a pattern on the boss, technically you're progressing, right? You're learning the patterns, you're trying to counter what the boss is weak against, you're trying to counter or parry against whatever the boss is trying to do. This game wants you to get good if you actually play in hard mode. And I kind of respect that. Which when I'm let's playing this, I did not get into the mindset of I'm gonna be playing a hard game. So it kind of threw me off guard. Thankfully, there is an uncensored patch, and praise be to God or whatever is out there. The uncensored patch actually comes with cheats. So I was using cheats like crazy because like I didn't want to use cheats, but there was like this boss that I kind of had to use cheats on because she was just way too difficult at chapter 12 or something. Like very very difficult boss. I'm like holy shit. Before that I never used the cheats. Like I didn't even know that I got cheats before. But yeah, Ricca is done. I think for the most part I was too harsh with it. I think if you play that as a casual gamer, as a casual like Nuki gay, you probably would enjoy it. Maybe like play it once a week, maybe try to get good at it. Because the gameplay is actually pretty darn fun. The only thing I hate about it is the fact that you have limited lives. If this game had infinite lives, it would be amazing. See, the problem with this game, guys, once you actually get through an area that is really difficult, mind you get to a boss at the very end, and this happens multiple times. And if you don't have enough lives, you're gonna have to go back from the very beginning. There's no checkpoints. There's a checkpoint, but if you die, you get to that checkpoint. But when you run out of lives, you gotta go back from the very beginning. So that is what I really hate about the game. If they got rid of the limited life, I think I probably would have tried to get good at this game. But I'm not gonna go through a freaking 20-minute map again if I lose all 10 of my lives and then I'll be like, how am I gonna get good at the fucking boss if I keep dying at the freaking area? The game is fucking nuts. It's fun, but it's very frustrating. It kind of rewards you though for getting good at it, and I kind of appreciate that. So the gameplay is actually something that's very much salvageable. If there is a mod that gets rid of those limited like lives, I think this game would have been very nice to play. But the second thing that I think was not able to, I wasn't able to get into the story, guys. Mostly because, like I said, those 8 scenes. If I didn't take a look at those 8 scenes and follow the story bit by bit, and didn't force myself to get the 8 scenes as soon as they come, I probably would have enjoyed the game. I think I probably would have enjoyed the story too. But because I got those 8 scenes as soon as they come, and they drag on and on and on and on and on, once we actually get to this main story, I'm like, holy shit, you're so retarded. Holy shit, you're so dumb. I keep saying about how I hate all of these characters because they're so dumb. I feel bad about that, but that is really how I feel. So, um, sorry to Jay if you actually. Well, he probably wants me to have fun with the game, and to some degree, I did have fun with the game, but you know, I kind of shit talk about the game like a lot. So my apologies if you're not into like me shit talking and like memeing the game. Like that playthrough is probably not worth it for you guys, but that is probably one of the like craziest playthroughs I probably had to record. Every time I record, I'm like, I gotta like sigh before I start recording. But yeah, I am done with Ricca. So next week I'm gonna be taking the Patreon block off. So for people on YouTube that want to actually join as a member on Patreon, this is the time since I will be choosing the next Let's Play for the Patreon and member block on Sunday next week. So right now it is the 23rd. I think it probably will be. Yeah, I'll be choosing it on the 1st of December, the next Patreon block. So yeah, whether you guys are a member on YouTube or if you guys are a patron on Patreon, I'll actually put both in the same pool. So I'm gonna contact you guys once I actually do choose people in the rolling or in the poll. But yeah, that's about all I want to say about Ricca and next playthrough. The other thing I kind of just want to get out of my chest, guys, is that I finished reading Oshinoko last week, and it's been kind of preoccupying my mind for the past week or so. Since I don't know, this is like something that I feel like I should probably talk about. I'm not gonna spoil Oshinoko, of course, because it's already ended. I'm mostly just gonna be spoiling like maybe the first chapter or something. So if you guys don't want to listen to any Oshinoko spoilers whatsoever, this is probably where you just want to end the episode. Or sorry, and stop watching. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about the first episode on the anime. So that's like at about an hour and 20 minutes of the first episode, right? So um when it comes to a story, guys, I feel like Oshinoko is one of those stories that kind of resonate with me. I grew up kind of not really emotionally, I don't really see a lot of emotions as I grow up, so emotionally I'm kind of numb. I don't know how to show happiness, I don't know how to smile very well, right? When I was growing up, I don't know how to reciprocate like affection. So when I read stories, what I want to see is actually stories where, like the main character gives out a really strong emotion. That's all also in line with my logical way of thinking because I kind of want to feel like I was, my I want the main character's personality to devour my sense of self. That's what I want when I read a story, right? And I feel like Oshinoko was that story that kind of devoured my sense of self. And I kind of enjoyed it because one, the main story, like I'm gonna talk about spoilers on the first episode here, but you got reincarnated, right? You're like this idol loving doctor, and you're turns out that the idol that you like actually had a child, even though she's 16 or 17, I don't remember. And you're actually, you got close to her a tiny bit, and then after you want to make her, after you want to, after the kids want to get birth, you actually got killed because for unknown reasons, of course, and you actually got reincarnated as the idol's kids, right? And you know, you enjoy being the kids and whatnot. You enjoyed the 3 years that I believe you guys were becoming kids again, and at the end, your mom actually got killed by some sort of stalker. That's the end of the like first episode, and the main character had like so much intense anger and what's the word? Intense drive, motivation for revenge. I'm like, in stories like this, guys, that's where I try to understand emotions because I myself am not really someone who like shows emotion that well. So when I understand an emotion and when it's actually shown in a story like that, I feel devoured. As I said, it's kind of a weird thing being devoured. It's more like you're kind of what's the word? Not really identifies the main character, but like their their character is so strong, you lose your sense of self. That's what I want in a game. But also, it's also gotta be in line with the logical aspect. Like I really like when people are emotional in stories and stuff, but if they don't really align with my logical aspect, I feel like yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get that devourer sort of feeling. But okay, I'm kind of like rambling at this point, but Oshinoko kind of taught me that I was one of those guys who can get an anxiety attack from seeing affection. I'm not really someone who understands affection that well, and I feel like Oshinoko kind of made me understand what affection really is, right? And it made me kind of not want to agree with what I'm sensing. So I kind of had an anxiety attack maybe last year or something when I was reading it the first time. I stopped reading it, and then after I heard that it was finished, I started reading it again last week, and I skipped the gym for Oshinoko, guys. That's something that I usually never do, and I think it was worth it. Like I enjoy doing stuff that I enjoy, like the gym. It teaches me discipline. It teaches me how to work hard. But I also feel like emotions are something very important, and I don't really want to lose that that sort of emotion that I feel. Like I'm not a robot, right? I can just go to the gym the next day or something. Like sure, I lose progress, but progress that I can always make up. But yeah, I don't really know what I was trying to talk about really when I was talking about Oshinoko. It's just me trying to ramble, sort out my thoughts after finishing the story. And I do think that the ending was up to, it was my cup of tea. Like some people might not really be into the ending, but I really think the ending is like good. So yeah, I think that's about it really. Sorry for rambling as usual. Well, not really sorry. I guess I did want to ramble anyway, but you guys don't want to like listen to it. You guys just can just stop listening at this point. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Probably next update video is gonna be either next week or 2 weeks once I've chosen the next LP for the Patreon block. So yeah, see you guys on the next one. Peace.